Welcome to the LinkedIn Power Lab webinar. And today is already episode number 47. My name is Gunnar, and the topic for today on this multi-series is how to use LinkedIn to convert your website. Many people have a great website, but don't know what to do with it, and it doesn't bring any leads. Others are fantastic on social media, but don't get it anywhere. So therefore, it's a good idea to do something to make that further. So let me get started, how this will run for today. So as a quick introduction for those who don't know me, particularly those from the recordings. My name is Gunnar. I work at Active Campaign. I publish a range of books, 28, and here is my LinkedIn-related book called Connect and Act. And I'm a big fan of connecting social and digital together with various tools for various occasions. And one of those that I also learned from recently is Referent, just as I see Ivan K walking by, and he created a lovely tool that also is worth knowing of. So then I'm running these event series for quite a while. And last year I started to have co-facilitators in the experts in their field who can also share a lot of wisdom which is adjacent in their field towards LinkedIn. And for today, I have the pleasure to have with us John. Oops, where is it? John from, click the wrong button. Here we have John. So John, quick introduction about yourself.
I always like to think that everyone else in the room is smarter than me, so I'm not really an expert on anything. I actually run 3 different businesses. Web8 is my Kiwi business. I have a logistics company based in Southeast Asia, and I also do conference speaking to logistics conferences. So a little bit of travel involved in my life as well.
Wow.
I'm a little bit, how would I put it, less than polite at times, I think. Someone once told me I was a little bit abrupt, but I'll call a spade a digging implement. And I'll call people out if I think they need it. So very straight to the point. With Web8, we have our team of designers and coders and people, but most of us are business people. So we're very, very focused on results and measurement of such. Thanks, Gunnar. Don't really know what else to say, mate. I've got a few tips and tricks I'm going to share today. Most of them you'll probably already know, and I apologise for that. I have yet to have an original thought or idea of my own. I tend to steal others and see if I can adapt them to what I need them to do. So
Wonderful.
That's me. I'm a Kiwi, and we're working with a Swiss German today.
Thank you. Indeed, that's true. And in that sense, reminding me at the time when I've been living in Auckland in 2016 for a couple of months and in 1999 as well. And I enjoy that many Kiwis are straight to the point, not talking around, but being of more practical usage. So therefore, when I looked at your LinkedIn, instead of pronouns like he, him, or something, you have written there, good bloke. And that is the way of talk that I like. So agenda for today is those who attend my webinars a bit more often, they know this. So then I put it typically in 3 pieces. And quite often I found the same first letter. And this time it was actually John to bring me on the idea. So we start in the first part talking about the handshake, how to attract attention, to then move into the hookup. That means how to continue the engagement from social to digital, from digital to social. And then the last part is harvest, how to convert conversations. Because it makes no sense to post on LinkedIn if you don't have anything from it. And it makes no sense to have a wonderful website with a blog where the last episode was 2019 and nothing comes from that. So we need to bring it all together. In terms of housekeeping rules, please stay muted, use the chat. That's what I like. We will also have questions to the audience. And then we will receive these slides and the recording within typically 12 hours. Beauty of email automations. And we will also talk something at the end as well. So let's get started. The first point. We would like to attract attention in whatever shape or form, being it inbound, outbound, nearbound. And here's a question to everyone, and I would like to put it in the chat. So put it to everyone. Where do you get most of your clients from? Let's say most of new clients from. Big question. So any answer, anyone where you get your clients from. John, you can also type something into the chat. I will not share what's there from the chat towards the recording, but at least it's good to see. So for me, it is LinkedIn and also Substack. Wow. And networking. Adam, Bell, John, Pauline, Ivan, where do you get your clients from? Please be so kind and type it into the chat. And keen to see some answers on this one. Variety, 40% email, 20 from LinkedIn, not bad. Nothing from Facebook, got it. Yeah, and cold outreach needs call center expertise, of course. Yeah, so there's different ways of it. And I know that for Adam, for example, don't see your answer yet, but having read your LinkedIn post recently of changing what you're doing, then LinkedIn is one of the sources, of course. It makes sense. Good, thank you for that. So let's get further on it. So I looked into a couple of statistics here, and they say something, knowing that we are 8 billion people on the planet. So 5 billion are on social media, which is more than half. That's massive. That counts every channel, but I think it counts the people only once. Nearly as many are using email. That's interesting. Nearly as many. So that's not bad. There's 4.6 billion of email users. Then you see how many emails are sent daily. So that is also quite a bit, big range of that. And 30 to 40% of marketing emails. If you look into emails as such, there are one-on-one emails or whatever we send out of our Gmail, Outlook, whatever. Then we have transactional emails. Think about those like you buy a ticket of something and you get a confirmation. And the rest are marketing emails where you have the chance to opt in or opt out. So that's important there as well. And then when we get further, what is a good open rate of emails? 30 to 40% is what statistics says. If yours is below, there might be reasons for this. And on the call, Amadeo, you and I looked into yours, and I showed you also mine. So there are good reasons to then analyze in the good software for that. A click-through rate, 3 to 5%, or conversion rate, even 2 to 5%, depending the industry. So those of you working in, let's say, professional services, they have maybe quite higher one compared to maybe transactional conversion rates. And even as there was one comment on it about cold calling, the average call rate is only 1 to 3%. So if we want to get, let's say, 100 clients, then we can backwards engineer and find out how many people we need to attract. And that, of course, is a tricky thing because you need to get maybe, if you have 1,000 people, and then maybe 300 open, that would be good. 3 to 5 out of 1,000 are then clicking. So that means 30 to 50 out of the initial 1,000. So we need to get many people to get into the funnel in order to make business to them. So John, you got 12 to 15% from referrals. That's good because that's a kind of warm introduction about someone who referred to. Brilliant. But referral alone is not everything because if someone refers me to a business coach and says, talk to that one, before I go and talk to the person, pick up the phone or whatever, I want to check them out. And there's 2 places to do it, LinkedIn and the website. So we need to get both injections. So there's a little line that I see here on the screen. Let me try to stop sharing and resharing. Then this goes away because it disturbs a little bit. That again. Then the sharing gets better for that one. So sharing again, one moment. So back to Zoom. Sorry for that. Here we are. Can anyone see it again? I hope so. So here is two pyramids. The first one I show on the left-hand side is a buyer pyramid, which comes from a book called The Ultimate Sales Machine from Chet Holmes. So he created this a while ago, but that is a bit that's still valid. So think about when 3% are buying now, and a lot of content on social or in emails rather go in, you need to buy now, let's say particular transactional way or transactional marketing, you don't hit the mood of those you have in your database. So you see 6 to 7% are open, and then you have 3/3, 3 times 30%. We can forget about the bottom, but we can get up to 70% if we have the right message for the right people over there. And when the people are ready to buy, let's say from the group of don't think they're interested, when they're ready to buy, then they think about who did they have in their network where they got recently some information from, being it an email or being it on social media. And that's then how that comes into play. You need to be there when people have the needs, and only then. We can add it to the other pyramid, which goes the other way around from top to bottom. And that is a regular way of the marketing funnel, which starts with tofu, the top of the funnel, where you have put people in basically at the top, invite to the webinar like we do today. And then you have social media, you have the website as the places over there. And then you get further by dollar value. So maybe you want to grab the email address, then you have a freebie or any piece of value that means something for the target audience, that they opt in and pay with their currency, which is the email address. And then you can get up the ladder with more dollar value. So I, for example, have a book over there, and then I have an online course, and then maybe a program or service. Same for financial planners, same for other type of industries, that the more you come down and you give the people a way of an introduction how it is to work with you, from the social media content to the website to something of value, and then you have small items and then larger items until you can really solve their problem, and then it's relevant to them. That's how these two pyramids work together. I take it even further because I'm a big fan of playing Lego, and I place these two pyramids in my approach, how I wrote my book about LinkedIn, and that has 4 elements. We complete the profile. You see it's a very long one with 6 stats on it. And then we connect the right level of people. We use content that we then convert. And then comes another blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, green. And maybe after half a year, we need to check if what we're doing as well, maybe after 3 months, and add another red one to look again into improving our profile. So that is the 4 steps that I have: complete, connect, content, and convert. So examples, when it comes to engaging, how do I find people and can convert LinkedIn towards website and further? Here's an example with personal content. I met Olga, she's an active campaign partner from Melbourne, in one of the nicest cafes that are now in Melbourne in the meantime, and that got a lot of likes and plenty of comments. Many people work social by just post and ghost, but then they miss something, particularly in the first 1.5 hours. It's at least good to also counter and thank for the comments and get further on with that, respond to that. So that is a tricky thing where LinkedIn can become work instead of just fun. You can add even more images to show even more a real life scenario instead of corporate images or AI pictures. And on the right-hand side, instead of connecting the photos within LinkedIn, I built it first in Canva, added some kind of writing to it. That was for Open Coffee. And you can see a lot of likes, 63 people in addition to myself, this image collection. So you can write content in a way that it engages with people who in public show up and say, I like it, or I comment about it. That's wonderful. We can do something with those people. And that is the magic that happens. So let's get further. And there, John, you are the one who created actually a good approach to find out how business owners who are typically busy can make this LinkedIn work happen. So can you please guide us through how you came about this type of activities?
Well, as I mentioned in my introduction, I do have three different businesses that I run as well as a personal life. So time is of an essence to me. What I was thinking about was, how do I make LinkedIn a habit? And to do that, I needed to make it something that was a simple part of my daily and weekly routine, but didn't take a lot of time, something I could use, do normally first thing in the morning. So my idea was to make this quick and doable. So if you look at it, it's either, it's generally 15 minutes. And if you're good at writing posts and things, then they could take 15 minutes as well. It's also about being consistent so that your network appreciates that you're going to be there and they'll start looking for you. You've also got to have a mix, as Gunnar mentioned before, of different things to build connections, sharing, engaging, messaging directly with people. Something I haven't got in there, which I've started doing, is actually meeting LinkedIn people face to face. And I think that's as we move out of this COVID mindset of everything being online, it's something to do. An example is this Friday afternoon, I've got 3 meetings with LinkedIn Connections in Hamilton, which is about a 90-minute drive from me. So I've got them bang, 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 and I'll then head on my way to where I'm going for the rest of the weekend. So I've found that works. And something else I would like to be doing is maybe even putting together a regular meeting with some people in the Auckland area. But the whole idea is just to have a guideline. This is what I'm going to do today. So I don't have to think, what am I going to do today? I just go and do it. Quite often on a Sunday night, I'll look at this and think, okay, I've got to post a tip or make an insight or write a story. And I'll actually do those on a Sunday night and have them ready to go. And that either says I've got nothing better to do on my Sunday night, or actually that's all it does say, if I haven't got anything better to do. But anyway, like any small business person, you're busy. The other thing that's not really in there, well, it is there on the weekend, if you get time, is just to think about what's working. It's like any system, you've got to keep tweaking it. The toolkit goes into it in a lot more detail than just this daily task list. But you could patch that straight into your calendar now and start tomorrow building a habit. That's probably about it, really. I don't want to keep people too long.
Thank you. And thank you also for making it a habit. I carry that in my last name. It's actually a funny thing. So can you all see the link to download the toolkit? If so, John, you can see it, right? Do you see the typo?
Yeah.
It should be toolkit with an L. Sorry, I will correct that. I just see it. Good. But what I like on it, how you've done it, John, instead of a typical LinkedIn trainer who would have so many tasks because it's valid for them, you build this as a business owner who are busy. You can more think like your clients compared to the traditional marketing gurus. Well done. I like that. Good one. And then we go to the second part. And the second part is how to continue engagement when we somehow already get it. So my question to you in the chat is so thank you for the comment, Ben. What's your typical reaction when people comment on your post? So my reaction is commenting back and thanking them for that. I look 3 times per day, morning, lunchtime, evening. But I try, when I do it, as recent as possible, as quickly after as I can, then we need to. How was it the iron that you worked on when it's hot? Don't remember that in English, but if somebody comments favorably in the sense of, oh, I need that, and I recognize I can help them to achieve, then that exactly is the time when we can take this conversation offline. So we thank them, and then we go further and go then into direct messaging, because necessarily people don't want to share details online visibly to everyone, but at least this type of what I call a signal is what we would like to have. And then later I can go back to that particular post as well and figure out who else has something. And I can even then go back also and add further comments. Thank you for all who already commented on it. I already found someone who took value from this, and that sense it would be quite helpful. Yeah, good. So, John, but in order to have an attractive profile, we need to do something. And I had to look at yours, and it looks like you have actually done a couple of good things. So, what was your approach of going after that?
Well, I guess it's the same as my approach that I take to my LinkedIn posts and everything I do. Is just try to keep it real and keep it authentic. That's a real struggle in today's world. We get so much AI nonsense thrown at us. And I just wanted to tell people this is what you talk to me. This is what we'll do for you. Yep, we'll build your website. We do SEO. We have our lead hub. We do this. We do that. We sound like everybody else. But what we're really wanting to do is talk to people who are interested in growing their business. To grow your business, you need more leads. You need to get them with less hassle, less problems. And that's very simply what we do. And that's a message that's consistent throughout the profile. At the top in the banner, very clear, very in your face. And again, I'm not sure what that is underneath my name, but it's very clear what we do. It's about leads automation, making sure that people see what we do. We're not going to be all things to all people. And I think that's something that's kind of what's important to us. Not 100% sure about View My Services, but never mind. I think I've got to do some more work on that one.
Thank you, John. And just to comment as a LinkedIn trainer, so you use the real estate, the biggest real estate that LinkedIn has at the top. You created this banner, possibly with Canva or something like that. You use your own colors, your own logo, everything there, and clear words that people see, yeah, that's what it's all about. Because how many seconds do we have when we see a profile? 2, 3, to find out if that is someone who knows what they're talking about, if that's something that I'm interested in or not. In addition to this, you have a very good headline, because you say you work with Kiwi business owners, so that's already quite good. The outcome, what they need, you said sorted, so that is basically the outcome you would like to achieve for them. No jargon, just results is your approach to things that even has a personal touch when you say good bloke, I like that. You have a link that goes to your website, which, by the way, for those who don't have that, LinkedIn doesn't want that anymore. So people like John who still have this, view my website is fine. Otherwise, that is going away after a while. But you also have something else. You have that written, view my services. I have an arrow that pointing to that, and I really like that. So I can show this. This is what LinkedIn calls a LinkedIn services page. If I click on that, I get this view, which is a way where John can write something. John, I didn't even know you had that, so good on you to have this. Well done.
Yeah, I don't think I've looked at it in a while, to be honest. But I think it sets a message, except for pay-per-click and social media, because we don't do that anymore. It goes back to knowing what you're good at. I must go back and fix that up, because I could write that a lot better. I just was going to comment on Belle's message that she struggles to DM people. I think it's like anything, and it's the same with this. I need to rewrite it to be more about the benefits of working with us. more about what you get from us, or what will happen to your business working with us. And it's a complicated little thing to try and put into a couple of hundred words, but that you probably don't have to got to look at it from benefits. And I think it's the same with website design, with any social media design, content writing. Everybody's still talking about them. And I'd suggest go and have a look at my website, because it's really very much about what you'll get from us. It's not about capturing everybody. It's only about capturing those people that need or want to talk to us about what we're good at.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, John. And what I like also that you captured some elements of your services in a drop-down box on the right-hand side where it says request proposal, and then it can even send a message. So that is really good. But I figured out something else on it. Let me show you.
Yeah.
So if I go on my profile, that's an image that I took, then you can see there that I have this button called View My Newsletter. That's the other way of how you can add what LinkedIn calls a premium custom button, but that only works for people who have premium. What's the advantage of that one? It shows that in any type of message I have, you can see here 3 examples. You can see what is their preferred way of contacting or the call to action. On the right-hand side, we have Chief, who attended the webinar and spoke on it last year, December. He has as this button, book an appointment. In every message that he has direct message, this stands there. So it's another way of making that happen, but only for premium members. For Justin Michael, he has View My Website, and Matt and I, we have then View My Newsletter. So that's one way of making that happen. And that can be done here, clicking in the settings of the profile. And then there's this premium custom button. So John did click on link and added his link. But for me, I took the newsletter, which is the one on my Substack. And there you can see the options that LinkedIn offers. For those e-commerce people, would be visit my store, otherwise website, portfolio blog, appointment, and newsletter. But that's only that way. That only goes with premium. But at least it's an idea from LinkedIn to connect the incoming traffic on the profile and do something with it, because that's what we're here for, right? The other thing what I also found, I would like to work with some people. I need some services or I can recommend them, but sometimes the people are not reachable. They miss adding their contact details. It's not a question if they show their profile photo or not, but at least if there's a reason to contact someone, maybe even I have an appointment, I'm standing in front of the building and I want to tell them I'm maybe 10 minutes late, or what is the unit number or the whatever it is, I need to contact them. Where do I get? When I don't find the website immediately, LinkedIn, and it should be there. So John has all relevant contacts there. Funny enough, even John, you, instead of showing a physical address, which I don't recommend anyway, you added your link about book a chat. Wonderful. And then you can see when we connected. On mine, I also added website, but I have blog and personal. You have the company. Wonderful. I also show the birthday, and a little trick on the birthdays. On May the 4th, Star Wars Day, I can make myself completely busy with responding to kindly meant congratulations. But the best way to utilize someone's birthday would actually be to send a LinkedIn congratulation between 24 and 48 hours afterwards. Then the likelihood that the person who celebrated the day or two before, that they see it is much higher. Because to be honest, on May the 4th, I got hundreds of them. It's impossible to respond to all. But if I see, for example, whenever John has birthday and I need something from him, I would for sure go the day or 2 days after and say belated congratulations, and then I have more chance of an attention. That's the way how to do it. But something funny now happened. When I prepared these slides, I saw there sharing on socials, and I've never saw that before. You see on the screenshot, it says follow link. I thought, what would that be? And it's this one. So when I click on it, and we all should be able to do it, then it gets this menu on the left-hand side where I have a link or a code that I can utilize. And I clicked on this follow button for the code for the button. I copied the code, put it in my website, and on the about section, I now have this follow on LinkedIn. And the very generous way of LinkedIn, John would understand that, it allows me to use my font. So it's not just an image that it does, I can change it a little bit so that it looks the one how I want it to look. That's a nice way to direct from website to LinkedIn instead of only the other way around. Very cool. I think that's rather new, or I didn't discover that. So you see, there is ways how we can build the website world and the LinkedIn world somehow together in both directions. And what many don't do and should is to utilize the power of the featured section. So if I look at those from John, I have the feeling that actually makes me click. So John, what have you done there?
That's a very good question. Basically, I just use some of my posts I put up there, but generally it's the posts that have been getting good engagement. And it's just a way of people being able to see more about what we do and actually more about how we do it. Because that's the idea behind those posts. It could be anything, you know, if you're launching a new book, if you have a new product that you want to launch, anything you want to, I use it because it just keeps some of the important stuff for me, or what I feel is engaging, at the top of my profile. That's all it does.
Yeah, that's a good one. And you're right. And I think just I saw the comment from Bell about it. If we see easily, quickly what a person's all about, then it's much better to engage with them. So some people create beautiful content, but then you think, why they post this? Maybe they have a personal view on something, but their business may be something completely different. So it's good to know what's all about. And also, John didn't write here, how can web help create you a better website, but rather you wrote about the outcome, grow your business on the right-hand side image. So that's good. So these two complement each other well. Well done, like that. If you look into mine, I didn't put them on the slide, but I think I had those from events that I've done at Active Campaign. There are some other business owners who I know they would not even use a post in the featured section, but a link that goes directly to the website, which is kind of a hardcore call to action, saying a free audit of your website here, or let's say marketing service per hour, and then you click on it, and then it goes to the website. I think John found a good way, not that it doesn't look like he wants to sell something, but rather to raise curiosity. So John, well done on that one. I like that. So let's get further. There is the third part. So we look into, we get content on both sides somehow, but we kind of want to bring it together and would like to convert conversations, because sometimes you're landing in the scope of a person and don't actually know why. That sometimes is funny. And then you realize, oh, am I in the wrong movie? And you need to click out, oh no, it looks like it's the right one. And then you can start to have a proper conversation. And that can go quite well. That even also with John and me last year. So key question to you. When is the last time you converted a link in contact? It doesn't mean to sell something, but we need to get into any type of business. For me, the last time was today, signing up a marketing agency for Active Campaign, who I wouldn't know without LinkedIn. Booked a call from there. So that's for me. So who else? Anyone? When did something convert? I think John, you said something verbally in your introduction that you are even wants to now even meet the people that you meet on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn doesn't necessarily mean we need to hardcore sell to them online, but at least it is there to start conversations, and then we need to convert them further on. That is the best way how to make that happen.
I think it's gonna, with that particularly, you just don't know where it's going to lead you. I have a regular coffee catch up with one particular guy every month, and a few others are joining in on that. And it's amazing that there's an informal referral network going on amongst us. And to say that this comes from LinkedIn, well, yes, because it was referred to me by a LinkedIn person, a contact I made through LinkedIn. And I think, that's something that we've got to be aware of, is that particularly with everybody, it's not necessarily selling to that person, but it's getting access to that person's network, earning the right to be talking to their network.
Yeah. And indeed, and conversion, of course, means something different for each of us. So, for example, John, you wrote more about a sale. So here, Adam, for example, wrote that your LinkedIn focus is on business connections, then customers only. But at that time, growing the company, you need to have the right level of people in your network who then can refer, who at the beginning without LinkedIn you would not have. And even you have a recent hire from LinkedIn. Well done. I saw that post, and I know you're sooner finding others. So we can convert if we are mindful of that. Not everyone that comes in automatically asks you for buying something. So, but LinkedIn is there in public that we can get signals of those people who we'd like to get in contact with. The only thing, if we don't work it, it will never happen. I can meet people at an event. I've done two events last week. And if these people don't put a message on and I don't because we connect on the fly, then nothing happens. So at least one of us need to get started. So a good routine for me is to say on Friday afternoon, who did I connect with during this week? Is there anything open? Maybe they didn't accept the request yet, or they did, but there's no message. That at least I can leave a message and say, hey, good meeting you at this event where we spoke of something and we met at that particular place. So that then we can start a conversation, and then the conversation can lead into something. Examples. I created engaging posts and tried to convert signals. On left-hand side, I met a printer, and I attended a BNI meeting, and he then had beautiful business cards. He took a little video of me, of my introduction, because he was sitting next to me, and I thought I saw the bloke beforehand, but we never connected. So we did. That was a Wednesday. Funny enough, on Thursday, we already connected, I met him without knowing that at another evening event. And then we recognized, okay, hey, we're both born in May. He's born on the 2nd of May, me on the 4th, as I said. And then he said, how do you know that? I said, well, it's on LinkedIn. I just read your profile. Oh, that was impressive, apparently for him. And then we talked further into what he's doing, how I can help him, and vice versa. And so as it be, he used to have, or he has his office in 15-minute walking distance from me. And I said, well, next week, I felt so naked at BNI event without business cards. He said, Gunnar, I can help you. I print them quickly. So then this was the day when I picked my business card up, beautiful with velvet. I shared in my 42 Coffees series of meeting real life people, and look, 1,831 impressions for this year, 2025, is actually quite a lot. But then the magic happened with Vishal. You can see that even other people are responding, like Valerie here. And then more and more people commented on it, like 16. There may be nearly half are me thanking it. But that's way how you can also be perceived as someone, as someone who can write comments. That's good. Someone you like to have in your network. He has plenty of people in it. And he even wrote about Active Campaign. What I shared him, and then the week after I've done a full demo in his house. And the other one, another post later came from the same type of thing about networking, and then I had people who were then really connect and said, I'm in, I'm there. So if I would not react on them, that would be pretty bad. On the right-hand side from Bridget, Wendy, and Valerie actually was me announcing a book launch on my birthday in May 2026. As you know, it's still some 8 months to go. But at least people said, I'm coming. Wonderful. I have no clue what the book will be about, but I booked the venue as it was suggested. So read the comments. Write a post that people want to comment. Give them something at the very beginning of the post so that they can click more, and then you can harvest and get signals and then do something with it. Where some of those in Generation X and beyond would say, I just pick up the phone. For Vishal, I went to his office. For Bridget, I called her. So these are the things that you can combine on multiple channels together, because that is the tricky thing that many don't actually do anymore. So that is an important topic. So Alfred, what did you write? Yeah, LinkedIn seems to be mainly a networking thing, though a few sites may have resulted from it. Yes, because people know each other from it. And also John said, anyone having issues with algorithm, it seems very random right now. Yes, and that is because LinkedIn reduced the dependency on hashtag, which is in our control, towards their AI algorithm, which is not very good. My tip, don't just look into the feed, but utilize more the notifications tab, because that's about the people who you follow. Much better, or your connections, what they have, much more relevant. And then it can work. So here's an example. For example, I went to an event from the Australian Marketing Institute, AMI, 2.5 weeks ago. They were called awards event. And I knew, I met someone. What was his name? I see his face in front of me. I know where exactly in the bar we have been sitting and who we have been talking with. But I cannot search for his face. So the only thing what I can do is to search for keywords. And then you see the message with Chris Murphy, where I said, hi Chris, good meeting you alongside Marina and Kim at the AMI Awards in Sydney last Friday. Let's connect. And he did that. So I plant something in my messages on purpose that later I can search for that, because I forget the names. I'm good with names, I'm good with faces, but I'm bad in the combination. So therefore, what I thought is to put then a word I can looking for. I call this MEO, message engine optimization. We plant words that we will search for later. If I only say, good meeting you at the networking event in Sydney, that's nearly all I do, except when I go to Melbourne. But I need to have something which makes it different. And then you see, also Jenny, I attended an awards event also with Jenny, but a different one. Melanie her company has been at that one. So then all the messages I'm filtering are coming up. And that's for me, one of the tips how you can make this conversion happen by using LinkedIn messaging as something decent. What you also see on that screen, where it says in the middle, Chris Murphy, active now, screenshot. On the right-hand side is a little star. The star works same as in Google in Gmail. So I click it on if that is an important conversation, and I can later filter in the messagings for all which are starred. Then I work on those which in that moment matter. If a discussion is done in a certain way or successfully handed over to email or phone, I can take this star off. Despite LinkedIn messaging being not perfect, but it has some things in it. If we only knew, we can work it. And another one, you see on the right-hand side, a bit blurry screenshot, which comes from the mobile iPhone app. On the messaging, I have two buttons. On the right-hand side, a microphone. And the microphone allows me to leave a message, like you do on WhatsApp, to the person with a voice. Most people don't know it. And those who do know it, they don't even do it. The other thing, if I open this attachment icon there, then a little menu appears, and that even includes take a video. And that video can run up to 2 minutes. That would be good to do it. If you didn't meet someone yet, but you want to show how it is to work with you, when it's not a chance to have a coffee, or before you schedule a Zoom call, then just send them a video message. Easy to record on the phone and say something. It's good stuff. Majority of people don't know it, despite the buttons are there. And those who know don't do it. So if you want to send out, that's fine. Nothing beats a recorded video naming the other side, naming the other person. I would say, hey, John, thank you for running the webinar with me. I really appreciate this. And I took some actions from what you shared. Easy. John would be pleased. So that is the possibility of getting conversions happen. But getting back to the website, John, I recognize on your website, you have some more converting elements on that. Can you walk us through this?
Yep, sure. The first one, the book a chat, is a button to a calendar, which gives people the opportunity to pick a time that suits them. The second one, Tracy, she's our chatbot, and she's been. We picked the gender carefully because people tend to feel less threatened by females, and she is there to lead people on a journey. We recognise that 95% of people aren't really ready to buy now when they visit your website, and so the goal there is to capture the 3% to get them to book a meeting, but that other 95% Tracy can lead them through to understand more about what we do, provide lead magnets to them that are relevant to them. If someone's interested in SEO, there's no point in giving them a lead magnet on email marketing, for example. And so basically that's what those two are there for. We find that with those we get and using the active campaign system, we have a conversion rate of about 95%, somewhere between 90 and 95% of appointments are held or they're rescheduled. I operate a sales team. We've got myself and 3 others here in New Zealand. And, there's nothing more frustrating than spending 30 minutes in the car to go and see someone to find out that they're not there. And we are getting more appointments with similar web traffic. So we're not getting that much more traffic to our website. It's about converting the traffic that's coming. Something that we're not that sexy about is we don't need thousands and thousands of leads. If we can generate 20 to 30 sales leads a month, then that's plenty to keep my sales reps happy, along with what they're doing as well. And of those 20 to 30 that we generate, if we can close 10 of them, then we've had a good month. And our team is busy. Everybody's busy working, and we're looking at how we can expand the team. So that's really what it's about. For us, it's about meetings.
Well done. So, thank you, John. And that actually shows, when you remember the pyramids at the beginning, you need to get people on, but instead of having thousands of people with a low conversion rate, you give those more relevant people who come to your ecosystem a much higher chance to know what you're all about, how you can help them, and then that they have a chance to also get in contact. So a typical thing would be if I go to my dentist, I have an appointment tomorrow, in case I come a little bit too late, how can I even reach out to anyone when they don't have something like this? When I don't have the phone number on my phone at that moment, when the website is not converting, then I cannot say, hey, I'm just coming a bit too late, or whatever it is. So there's various reasons why we want to connect with the business, but we need to make it possible for the people using LinkedIn, for the company on the website as well. And I think it was not too complicated for you to build this into your website. So that's a good thing. But getting further, you also collect email addresses, which is the biggest currency that we talk about. How are you doing this?
Just through various targeted lead magnets. the page you've brought up is a lead hub. So if people have clicked on that one and they're looking at lead hub that's of interest to them, then we want to give them an opportunity to find out more. But we don't want to give away all the cookies. So we're asking for a little bit of information to send them a checklist. With the GA4, we're finding that we're getting number-wise. Again, our numbers aren't high. We're probably only getting around about 20 to 30 visitors to our website a day, of which we're getting 5 to 10 of them downloading a lead magnet of some shape or form.
So up to half.
Sorry?
That is up to half of them. Well done.
Up to half of them, yeah. And that's only because the people who go to our website now are people who are interested in growth. We've targeted our search engine optimization very tightly to what people are searching for. And if there isn't some mention of growth in the keyword search, then they're probably not going to find us. We're not really that interested in someone who just wants to build a website. We'll do it for them in the hope that we can actually then talk them into other services, point them in that direction. But our key thing is if we can get 10 to 20 people to our website who are interested in business growth, we should be able to convert half of them into some form of lead. And then over time, using the active campaigns automations we've built with you, Gunnar, we're probably converting around 25 to 30% of our total website visitors into clients over a 6 to 9. We've got data now for 8 months, so we'll call it 6 to 7 months period they'll convert.
Well done. Particularly also, you're right. The conversion doesn't necessarily need to happen immediately that they click on a buy button, but getting onto a conversation first, like the calls, is key. You have self-serve options if they need to have more information. That's what Tracy, your bot, is doing. And then getting into the calls with them, and they can see that pretty much the customers who go on this lead hub, which is the name of your service, and they have downloaded this, and then they click on getting a call, they're already pre-informed, they know what they're looking at, and then they get into conversation where you can then also have research about them, because you know who they are, and then you can have a very informed discussion with them, which is very concrete about how you can help them, and then the conversion can happen. And you're right, if you only do a transaction website for a little bit, that only give them a static presence. But where you can help them is to grow their business, which where technology is just part of it. Well done, I like that. So in here also is, I clicked on the link that we've seen before from the calendar, and you make it easy to just book a call.
Yeah, take a time.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
in today's world. There's no need for all this back and forth about a meeting time. I fire off. I've got 2 links, one for clients and one for prospects. And one of the things I ask my clients is to actually bookmark the link. So if they want to make a time to chat, if the time's available, then I'm available. And we're finding we're getting more engagement with clients as well through that, which gives us an opportunity to cross-sell and, more importantly, get more referrals from them.
Yeah, good one. Good one. So thank you. So that's fine. Good one. So let's quickly summarize because we're already talking for a bit. So the first moment is called the handshake. Doesn't matter if you come from social or from digital. You can see, or I see there's another type I didn't see beforehand. So enhance the mindset beyond just only clicking on buttons, but more getting proper in terms of attention, create engaging content. And John's LinkedIn toolkit is actually good. So the email that goes out by tomorrow morning, including the slides with corrected typos and the recording, will also include the link to your toolkit because I think that's helpful for the audience, particularly also for those who didn't join today but are on the list that will receive the recording. The second topic we talked about was a hookup, how we can continue the engagement, particularly when it comes to they go on your ecosystem, on website or on LinkedIn. They see visually easy that that's nice to get in touch with the person or with the provider. The links are wherever they are, like currently, like the board, like everything on that. And the featured section tells me, yes, that's the right person. So it's a chance to do the hookup. And then finally, from a harvesting point of view, it all happens in direct messaging. And we can convert the web visitors into emails. And then just to make it easy to work with them, that's the key thing. And I think you have done that very well, John. Thank you for explaining this in a very practical way. So, but how can they get to you? I think, John, here we have your links, right?
And if you go onto the website, if you want to have a chat, just click on that book a chat button, and no problem at all. I was just going to mention something there, Gunnar, about the challenge with LinkedIn and other social media is that they don't let you own the lead, if you like. They make it very difficult for you to own the lead, and which is why I really focus my efforts on either getting a meeting or getting them to my website so that we can get them on a mailing list. Correct. And that way I'm not reliant on LinkedIn and their algorithms or whoever it is, and it applies to all social media. You've then got some ownership of that lead, and you can deal with it in whichever way you want to, then either through LinkedIn or email, or God forbid we actually meet in person.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, John. So that's good. So the toolkit is really good. I really like that because it's practical for particularly those in small businesses who have a much broader set around the business compared to those in corporate, where you have many more people who could do this. Thank you for that one. Something for me, because John, you mentioned you made video toolkit with the schedule what you've been doing. You made LinkedIn your habit. I like that. So that's what I'm doing. And I wrote a book called Happy Habits. I launched 5 weeks ago. And I'm now finishing my new course, Happy Habits in Action. Because when we say we would like to make LinkedIn outreach a habit and do it, we need to also learn how that would work. And my book has 4 steps: pause, plan, practice, and partner. And I put it a little bit broader into a couple of elements here, that's 7 weeks long. So to say, with 5 lessons each, all over is not more than 2 hours of content. And when you do it over a period of time like this, 7 weeks, then there's a good chance you really improve things, not in a big revolution from now to today and tomorrow, and then next week you forget about it, but more towards sustainability, one small win at a time. So that's what I'm doing. So here's the QR code for this one. And my latest course, Happy Habits in Action. And that's the way how that can help. And one day there will be a new LinkedIn course, also called LinkedIn in Action. One day. Not yet. So the habit comes first, because whatever we learn, nothing works if you don't put it into practice. And practice will become a routine. And I saw it in the chat beforehand. One person appreciated John doing this with a discipline. And you don't need to think about why you do this, but you just do it, and that it becomes so natural. That's how I posted about the same topic on LinkedIn every week for 353 weeks, which is nearly 7 years. You can do it as well. So thank you everyone so far. You will receive the slides and recording within 12 hours, typically. And I will tomorrow morning, and I would like to stop the recording now, but I'm open here for further questions from the audience if you may have. Thank you everyone for joining live, and those who didn't join live, then thank you for rewatching the webinar at any time you would like, and you will receive emails about that. Thank you.